Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday night on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Tim Strachan.
It's good to be here again on a Tuesday night with everybody. And even though Ken has no graphics, doesn't mean we're not going to get graphic.
Graphically
okay?
challenged tonight. We will be graphic. Kevin Ricca?
How did I get here?
How did I get here?
I don't know, but it's been almost 10 years, and I keep finding my way here every Tuesday. So it's awesome to be back. I love how you guys get here also, man. So welcome. Let's have some fun. It's almost there.
I can't wait to see my 2024 Spotify Wrapped in December and Unwrapped, where they tell you like all the songs you've been listening to all year. They're like, you're in the, every year you get like a little thing.
I'm still in my first year.
It's when the first time it ever happened, I didn't know anything about it either, and everyone else was, and I was like, you guys, and they're like, please, don't want to hear about your Spotify Unwrapped, like your like fantasy football to Kevin. I didn't, but it was brand new to me. I was like, you got it. But look, I'm like the 0.0001 listener of Foreigner. So
it's going to be a dick in the box Christmas for you this year, I believe.
It's there's going to be some dislocated. I'm going to get start to get letters from them like, you are by far the number one dislocated boner listener in America or the planet.
You were definitely on multiple sub lists.
Oh yes. The algorithms. It's all about the algorithms. I am in a bad spot algorithmically. Welcome to Tuesday.
Other songs you might like, Ken.
I don't.
If you like this one,
I don't stay long. But thank you, EO.
It may explain all the hymns ads we get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
hey,
you got
anyone else?
You got to originate.
I can't create a banger song like EO Anderson can, so we appreciate it. AGH, EO. Manner of speaking. I believe we got some other folks on. Appreciate you guys hanging with us on a Tuesday night. We're kind of like midway through camp, even though we only have one game left. Still got that dead week left, which is going to be
horrible.
I think that's going to be like the worst week of the year.
Horrible.
It's like
great for a few.
It's great for college football watching.
Sure.
And they put a few on Sunday.
Which is why it's 4, right?
Yeah,
they're all working together.
Yeah, they're trying. All those football guys. But I'm just ready for it. And to think that we're so far away. So far away. Almost
do we have
weeks.
an actual college game? Is it week 0
This Saturday is week 0.
It's week 0.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
Florida State, someone at noon in Dublin. I know that. Then a bunch of other randomness.
Just
Saturday.
the way they drew it up back in the late 1800s.
Exactly. Week 0.
Week 0 in Dublin.
We'll take the Florida State Seminoles to Dublin, Ireland.
On the gridiron.
Georgia Tech, I believe. A couple. Those are two Southern fan bases flying Aer Lingus right into Dublin, baby.
Oh, they're playing
disturbances on a few flights, I believe.
Yeah, playing the American game the way it was played with the leather helmets and before on the fields of Ireland, probably it would make a lot of sense.
Sure.
That it's going to be the worst. It might be the worst week on the sports calendar. I was trying to think of the worst weeks on the sports calendar. There's a few. I mean, there's a couple. They do. It's obviously not going to be during football season. In a non-Olympics year, we would have been down to baseball and WNBA for a period. I think that's got to be. But like the week before, when there's no, I don't know.
Well, because the anticipation is here. It's amongst us. The preseason is effectively over. We don't get what we want right away.
It's like anything can. The only thing
I want it now.
Only bad things can happen.
Right.
I feel like. I mean, only bad things can happen.
Well, in seasons past, someone definitely gets arrested in Northern Virginia. There's always some type of squabbling. Someone driving around the Beltway 110.
Yeah. You made the team.
Yeah,
all right, everybody, chill out for 10 days, and for our first game, try not to. Oh God. Okay, so
you're shaking a bottle.
Is that me?
Yeah.
I must have been hitting something. All right, take it
I
easy, everybody.
Somebody's phone alarm was going on.
There might have been. There was a tornado in the area, also earlier.
There? Really?
Maybe.
Well, there's a boner champ on the board.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's CEO Greg Martin.
No, we can't mark Greg down as late. He has excellent comportment. We're going to overlook it this one time.
What is he saying? There's 3 days left of camp. It is. We probably are in the.
No.
We'll fix that. We probably are in the dog days of the like. There's actual football to talk about. Don't get me wrong, but there's also there's not that many question marks. There's some question marks, and I think that there's some fun ones to talk about. I kind of wanted to start there. The things that we don't know, like we even knowing that even when they named Jaden Daniels the starter, which is newsworthy and everyone is worth talking about, that's a known. There's probably like 3 or 4. I was thinking 3 or 4 like true question marks about how they're going to make up this roster and a couple of these positions, which I think is a vast improvement from previous years when the question mark list was super long and unmanageable. So, for example, a question mark going into this season. This is the easy one. Kicker. It's a big deal. We have nothing there right now, and it's a huge question mark.
Might be our biggest question mark.
It might be. I didn't want to.
Just in terms of every game contributor, that's kind of an important piece.
Like, super important.
I mean, this isn't something that you want to just come down to the wire. I get it. Everybody's new. We got. I don't even know how to describe how we got. We didn't get dicked, but
no, we got grossly handsy ass McManus.
Yeah, we got bumped and
we
grinded.
got roped out of a good,
being G'd.
So it just all started really bad, and it. But I think I read an article about the number 2 guy in New York, who's definitely going to lose his job there, but has done well enough that I think he's going to be at the top of the list. And hopefully they squeeze in and get a guy like
Austin Siebert.
That's what it's so unsexy to spend much time on, but we know how important it is, and we've also seen in our lifetimes. Norv Turner is famous for not having a kicker when he was here. That would have probably been a huge difference in his time here. I hate that it's a question mark, but it's a question mark.
Well, Dan Quinn reminded us that the kickers account for 70% of the scoring per team in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to jog a decent-ass dude out there. Thanks a lot, McManus. But the cool thing is, whether it's cool or not, which gives us a little bit of we have a possible hope, is that when cut day comes, we have the number 2 right on the waiver wire. That means we can jump up, and unfortunately, it'll be a kicker, but that's what we need. And we're
or a tackle. I mean, which segues to it.
There's not going to be a tackle on the waiver wire. I think that's
not worth it.
That's kicker. That's kicker business right there.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well, we need one badly. Because here's my problem. I know that Riley did great and was 6 for 6 and 4 for 4 from 50 and blah, blah, blah. When the game started, when you shank one left and shank one right, have you ever watched, you watch a lot of pro golf. All right? When a guy's missing left, he's missing left. That's his miss. When he starts missing left and right, he might as well just go into the clubhouse.
Yeah, he's not.
Because at that point, I'm talking professional. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about professional kicker golfer. That same stroke, that same rhythmic thing. And, Dan Quinn did say, he came out and said, he goes, when you ask him what's wrong with him, and they say, I don't know. That's when you know they're screwed. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but he said he had some correctable things. Hopefully he can get it done. I can't see it being him. I don't know who I can see it being, but it's going to cost us a few games this year, and it's going to be tormenting, and I hate it.
I'm excited about the possibility of somebody emerging and becoming our kicker. I think a professional kicker will be available, and we're going to run him out there for kicks.
Or Joey Sly, or
sure. I mean, I think.
What would you do with Joey?
I just don't like being soft in positions where all the points are coming from. But it is the reality, and it's not our only position that we have question marks at. Greg Martin makes a comment. I'll throw that up there. He said if we go with 3 quarterbacks and keep Driscoll, he's counting 50. I think I know what he's saying. The last 3 spots, we can talk about what they are. But on the offensive line, it continues to be guys aren't healthy. So they're not the 5 that you wanted to be aren't working together, which is
4 of them are
tough. 4 of them are. Yeah,
4 of them played 18 snaps together in cohesion. I think it's obvious we wanted to be Brandon Coleman. You don't dick around with a pectoral injury at this point in the season when you punch on every single play. It's kind of an important muscle to a guy like Brandon Coleman. So I think they love him, and I love having Big Corny ready to jump in at any time. I'm not saying we're great up front, but I'm saying we're set. I think. You know what I mean?
We are set. We're like Normandale. Like that's our team.
Our
team is on the floor.
We're better than we were a year ago.
I agree.
Yes.
Is that where we need to be? No.
Oh, the bars. That bar is you could.
Well, also I think we're better coached, hopefully,
Trip
than
over.
we were a year ago. And I'm not saying we were poorly coached at that spot last year, but man, we just never got anything out of it. We struggled. It was the same mistakes at the end of the season that were happening at the beginning of the season. I think that had a lot to do with everything going on. So this is a whole new ball of wax for these guys, and I think we're going to be better than we were last year as well. How much better determines how many more games we win.
Yeah, and specifically on the offensive line too. I mean, Sam. There's not many quarterbacks. I believe that would have been out there for every game the way Sam Howell was. I think of all of his traits, and I think that he's having a great preseason. By the way, Geno Smith didn't play this past weekend. He played. He had a great stat line. Touchdowns, no interceptions.
Good for him.
Good efficiency. He looked good. They like him. But he was battered. I mean, he was hit super hard on a regular basis. And he's even a guy that knows how to protect himself.
He got the shit kicked out of him.
It was outrageous. So
that's why we love him. He was tough as nails.
Yes, and there's like I said, I don't think there's many guys in the league that do what he did last year. I think he talked his way into staying active more than once. So the offensive line, I don't want that for Jaden Daniels. I don't know. Without knocking Jaden Daniels, I don't know that he's built to take that kind of beating, right? So that's a huge thing we have to have improved.
And I agree with that, but also the other side of it is we're getting rid of the ball at 1.7 seconds in the preseason.
that was going to be my number one.
Go ahead, get after it.
About Jaden,
was
how fast he's getting rid of that ball. I know it's preseason, whatever, but that is the biggest jump.
Yeah.
For these players going from college to pro is getting that ball out of your hand with the fast, quick, big. Everything's bigger, faster, and better. And making that jump, that is the biggest hurdle anybody has to make. If he's already getting there, he's so far ahead than any rookie should be if he's doing that.
I agree with that. Everything you said, I completely agree with. He is not intimidated by the pace of this level.
No.
Nope.
No. And it's going to turn up when the season comes on, and there's going to be mistakes and stuff. But if you can do that on a consistent basis, you're putting your team in a position to win games. You're not getting sacked. You're not making mistakes. I mean, those decisions. This really is impressive what he's been able to do his rookie season so far.
And a ton of that is pre-snap, as you know, and his understanding his work in the offseason and what he's been doing. It's really shining through right now, and we can start to get excited about it. The way T's talking about it, the way I feel about it as well, the way you do too. This guy, we're starting to realize, might not just be one of these guys. He might be the real freaking deal. And he's just showing every week why he could be. He isn't yet, and rookies are rookies in this league, but he showed everything he could possibly show. I've been trying not to get so excited, but 10 of 12 in those first two drives, the way he was spinning it, slinging it around, the confidence.
And his accuracy.
Very accurate. Back shoulder, the low outside ball to Terry McLaurin. But also, you can't, like, some guys are just built for quick release. Just saying. And, Jaden Daniels.
As Hims pops on my joint.
Yes. Right?
That's a whole thing all unto itself. We watched our guys over the recent years tap that ball, hold on to it for an extra second. While we all know damn well they weren't getting an extra second from any of those offensive lines. And it was a downfall of the offense. So
shout out Spurrier.
The 1.7 seconds is impressive. I like to see that be, something that, because that's right there with, I think last year was like Tua was like one of the, I think he was right around that area. There's not a lot of guys under 2. So if he's that's immediately real deal.
And we're calling plays based on that as well, guys. We're not telling him to, sit in the hole for
little pistol.
Yeah. Listen, the looks we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Dude, he talked about having volumes and having to cut it down for Patriot stuff and having to cut it down for week 1 Tampa Bay and what works for him and what different guys. It's just so cool how he just describes football. If you're just someone that hasn't really watched in forever and is intimidated by the NFL game, he does a great job of explaining to you exactly what the process is. And, aside from getting into all the ins and outs, he's done a great job. Dan Quinn, I listen to what he says every week and believe him. It's the first time I've done that with the Redskins head coach in a freaking long time. Because he's been pretty blunt. Now, he doesn't have shit to lie about yet because he hasn't gotten a loss yet.
Yeah, he's not
protecting.
having to hide stuff.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens, but whatever it is, I dig what's going down here. And I like the whole pomp and circumstance of naming that guy a starter. Because, guys, this will be our 8th starter on week 1. 8th year in a row we've started someone different week 1.
Which I don't even think that's the record.
Well, I would have no idea, but it has to be.
I'm pretty sure
it's on that
Cincinnati
list.
broke that in the 80s and 90s.
Or
90s for sure.
Bengals. I was thinking Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I said, Cincinnati.
But there was another one I was
Wasn't
thinking.
it,
Maybe the
wasn't
Browns
the Bengals
also.
who were like had the number 1 pick like 8 years in a row or something.
They did.
It was just
They
awful.
did. They had a lot.
I want to
They
say
took,
somebody
like,
has
6
double digits,
quarterbacks.
but eight's enough. Let's let it be 8.
8 is enough. 14 different guys took snaps over that mess. We're 43-71. I mentioned this to Ken earlier. 43-71 is such garbage. But we had 2 winners along that route. Alex Smith and Taylor Heineke both had winning records here, which floored me. But in that 43-71, 23 of those 43 wins were Alex Smith and Taylor Heineke. Everyone else went 32-77. 32-77. The reason why I say all these things out loud and I'm looking into the camera is that's 14 quarterbacks over 7 years. 10 of them went 32-70. 12 of them went freaking 32-77. The other 2 guys had winning records somehow, some way. Alex Smith and Taylor Heineke should be in the Hall of Stars for what they did here for their 2 years. But all that stuff can go away with a little bit of health, a little bit of good luck, and a fan base that's paid their dues.
It just also puts the importance on what it is to have a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. We actually never had one. You know, we won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yes, we did.
So, I mean, we just don't even know what that feels like. You know, we've never had it, and it's obvious why we haven't been in any discussion of being a good organization when you don't have that position nailed down.
And we've swung and missed at it so many times. Holy moly! But looks like right now, a little bit of health, a little bit of luck. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all that rests on this young man's shoulders. That's it.
Hey, good luck, bud.
How many are we playing the how many wide receivers game yet that we're going to keep?
It's the standard 6
Standard is
WRs.
6.
Always. I don't think we're taking a 7th, if that's what you're asking. But I don't think we're sticking with 5.
So McLaurin, Dotson, Brown, McCaffrey, Allen, and Oz. Right. That's 6
right there. Now, what's up with this Dotson? I mean, we going to talk about
That's
Dotson?
the second biggest question mark, I think, right now. People talk about him being cut. You don't just cut.
I don't think you cut him.
Yeah, unless something's going on we don't know.
I just don't
and
understand.
that he has it's so bad that he's not even tradable.
I don't think that's what it is. I just don't know if he's a good fit. I know he's complimented every freaking wide receiver but Dotson. I know he's given everyone, I can't wait to see Bubba. He hasn't said anything negative about him, but his lack of mention and his lack of comments or complimentary statements stand out.
What did Dotson have? 1 catch for like 8 yards?
Brown had some consequential plays,
and
too.
I think he played a majority of the snaps, more so than any other wide receiver. I think maybe 1 or 2 guys had him on the snap count. Like, go make something happen. I understand some days it doesn't come your way based on what's going on, but like, you're under the gun here, Jahan Dotson. Like, you got to show something.
I can't believe there's serious talk of him just being sent home.
I can't believe it.
That puts 2 former first round picks on the chopping block with Forbes. I mean, he's the other one.
I don't think either of them.
No. Did Forbes interview the other night? Oh, no. What he said and what they said about him, that is.
Some projections don't have him in the 50s.
I texted you guys. Emmanuel Forbes is a class act.
Yeah,
you got to watch the interview.
I saw it.
He said how great it feels to know Dan Quinn has my back. Joe Witt has my back. They understand they're breaking me down from bad habits I've had in college and last year. They're rebuilding me, and it's going to be a lengthy process. I'm all in. I don't care about the booing. I'm going to get there.
That's good. That's good if that's not real. But the Jahan Dotson thing is kind of real.
I mean, you're not cutting him. I don't see any world where you cut Jahan Dotson, unless he's like motherfucking people on the sidelines.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I mean.
sleeping with someone's wife.
There's got to be something more than just his lack of production on the field. There's got to be something else going on.
I don't think he's cuttable unless he's doing something, unless he's banging someone's girlfriend. I mean,
I agree. It's not a shining light story for the summer camp here in Washington with his situation, but it is. I mean, De'Ami Brown has hung out. He's hung around. He hasn't blown everyone's skirt up necessarily, but he also hasn't been gifted with a ton of opportunity. He's been buried on the depth chart, and he hasn't really fought his way above it. But last year, or he started to even before that, become a guy you notice on special teams on a regular basis. He's a physical guy, and as you were talking about last week and the week before, and we've talked about
Who are you
before,
talking about?
De'Ami Brown,
Yes.
and how Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury are looking for wide receivers who are physical and whose value to the team is exponentially greater because they can be physical. And that's what you hear a lot about between De'Ami Brown and Jahan Dotson, that De'Ami Brown is out there, hitting people and being a physical blocking guy on offense that Jahan Dotson maybe hasn't gotten there.
Well, and here's what Dan Quinn said, and I appreciated the answer. I asked about a second wide receiver. He said, we're not going to name somebody a two. We're not going to call him a two. He goes, but there's certain guys that are better at certain things that we're going to bring in certain packages and certain formations that we're going to use as a two, but we're not going to name that guy. So he's talking about Oz playing the slot and getting off that ball and getting north-south right away to create separation and open up the inside of the offense. You don't put a guy there that can't get off and get vertical leverage right away. You can't have Luke McCaffrey. He says has been running fantastic routes, and he really appreciates how he's been, working on his craft, and that'll be a guy that gets snaps. So Jahan Dotson's gonna have to fit in there. Looks to me in that bunch of guys that are getting some snaps, and that's fine. That's fine. It would be weird if he got cut because I think that would mean something strange was going on.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. Let's see what these guys got, man. I don't need someone to tell me who the number two is. If the 2, 3, and 4 are all getting 2, 3, and 4 reps and mixing them up, who gives a damn? We all know who the one guy is. We all know Zach Ertz is going to get plenty of touches, and Austin Eckler and B-Rob, for that measure, are going to get plenty of touches out of the backfield. While young Sinnott comes around and some of these younger wide receivers, the offense will tend to expand a little bit. We'll see.
I was trying to think of what position or what as far as question marks are concerned going forward. I do think it comes down to I think to me, the least important question mark. We talked about some of the most important ones. The least important question mark is is there going to be an impact on the last spot on our team that's 100% special teams based and maybe even based a lot on that kickoff play? Do we have the luxury of doing that? And if so, is it one of these extra safety guys like Tyler Owens?
T.O., baby, he's been killing it.
Yeah. Or whoever it is, and maybe you wouldn't call him the 53rd.
I'm a Dominic Hampton guy, I'm
Hampton.
not sure where he fits in there, but these are two safeties that are out there trying to wild man make a team, and a late draft pick and an undrafted guy. I love those stories. I hope there is a room for him, but a 10-person practice squad is certainly going to help.
Tyler Owens, he looks good in your team's jersey. You know what I mean? He looks really good. He hits hard. He's fast, and hungry. Man, I obviously I know he's not
starving.
He's starving. We'll see. We'll see if he hasn't been playing against the top guys in the sport, but at the same time, he looks really good. So. The extra player, if there's an extra guy, I don't know that there's a wide receiver who's an extra guy. I don't think Pringle or Tinsley or any of these other guys, or maybe Martavis Bryant could be an extra guy type of thing. But
Tremaine, they've been digging. Jack Saint's making a few plays, but no, I think you're right.
And wouldn't you rather keep, for example, a guy like Yankoff over Pringle or Tinsley or any of those guys?
You know how I feel about Yankoff.
I know.
I've come full circle, and
he's great. He is fun and great.
I want a guy like that on our football team because, good God Almighty, 3 guys get hurt in one game. He can play one of those 3 spots. That certainly makes things and life a lot easier. But I just don't know if there's a room for him, if there's a spot for a guy, and he would be the guy.
He's the extra guy
because he's playing a crap ton of specials, and man, they can use him in so many various roles offensively with Kingsbury.
And I just don't know how, I'll admit to not being, don't take my word on who's better between Cole Turner, John Bates,
Bates played his ass off, dude.
Yankoff, and the fourth guy who's a big old 80 89?
Big old 89er?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's another big guy. I mean, that might actually be Tremaine. But anyways, it's not that I'm, done with Cole Turner and John Bates.
Yes, let's circle that one, Rhett.
But you kind of, at some point, if a guy like Yankoff comes along, I mean, and you only have so many spots.
I didn't see much out of him this week, though. I didn't see too much yanking off going on. So I just hope a guy like that makes it. He seems like a cool cat, and these hybrid guys in the league right now that are getting stacked on these rosters, and they get to show what they can do within the framework.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not his time. Who knows? But
you want this Brett Donnelly comment up there? That's what you said?
no, not at all.
Hartman. All right, let's talk quarterback as things stand. Obviously, Daniels and Mariota, even though Mariota's a little bit nicked up, they're going to be your 1 and 2. You got Hartman, Driscoll banging around for that number 3 job.
I think Driscoll. Hartman.
Yeah.
He's.
I know he hasn't played a lot. He has been hurt for the last 2 weeks.
And Driscoll was fun as shit to watch last week, dude. That guy.
There's been a lot of discussion on the board about it. I do think if he's probably going to get claimed by somebody. I think he's played very well in the preseason, and he is without a doubt better than a lot of backups out there. I just don't think we're going to keep 3, and I think it's far-fetched to think.
You don't think we're keep 3 quarterbacks?
He's going to stay on practice squad. No.
Okay.
Well, they were debating whether or not he can stay on it if he's capable, if he's still qualified to be in a practice squad. I don't believe he is, but I don't necessarily understand the entire rule.
Driscoll?
Yeah. But with a rookie quarterback and a banged up dude with a concussion history, you let Driscoll go. Now we're just hoping Hartman stays on the practice squad. So
I think that's probably more likely to happen as Hartman goes on the practice squad because I think somebody claims Driscoll.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we can put him on there, but Aunt Pam says hello.
What's
so
up?
We're all up in the
Camp
mix,
Aunt Pam
bro.
just finished up. Great weekend in Bethany. Talking about a lot of these exact same issues. I do think it's a 3 quarterback. I think it's like it's more of a situation by situation. I think first year of a brand new everything with the rookie quarterback and the Marcus Mariota. I think it's a perfect opportunity to keep a quarterback around. I don't mind it being Sam Hartman because I liked what I saw, but just either one of them, I think you've got to be in the business this early in where we are in our whole journey. Got to be in the business of developing quarterbacks one way or another.
Everything he said so far is I want the guys that compete, the guys that listen, the guys that put it together and compete. What I've been watching Driscoll do is everything he's been asked to do, and more so than either of the other quarterbacks besides Jaden Daniels. Driscoll has been spectacular. So it's going to be hard for him to justify being like, yeah, I mean, he was great competing. We loved him, but so I get it with Mariota. It's a numbers game. Mariota getting a huge shout out today he called him perfect. He said as a backup, yesterday when they announced Jaden Daniels, he said Marcus Mariota's, it's the perfect scenario. When your quarterback room is perfect, that's when great things can happen.
By the way, the perfect
typically
job.
It's a rookie guy. Typically a rookie gets a veteran who wants that job still, and it's 2 different sides to the quarterback room. Apparently that is not the case. And
dude, professional backup quarterback is absolutely continues to be the greatest job in sports.
It's either going to be a young guy that you're trying to develop to take over, or it's going to be an older veteran that it doesn't need the physical reps because he has the mental reps and the experience to get into a game without having starter reps and be effective. That's what Mariota is capable of doing. I just hope he doesn't quit before the season's over.
Yeah, our backups weren't like classic. Like I'm talking about like caddies, like your Doug Petersons for Brett Favre. Like Tom Brady, like Brian Hoyer, and any of the guys who backed up Tom Brady. Like professional caddies.
I know you say this, but do you understand what they have to do?
Oh yes, but they're getting paid a ton
the only
of
thing
money.
They don't get to do is what they want to do the most.
It's true. But their careers get extended, and they make tens of millions of dollars to do it.
You've got to extend it so you can clean it.
Can't clean it without it being extended.
It's been a long time since we've remembered that.
It's true. Yeah, well, so Keegan just up and left like a fart in the wind.
Keegs.
Got to get you back here, baby. So, all right. So, we got Stromberg is all of a sudden a topic of conversation on the board.
They're saying he's the only backup center, but Dieter's been getting snaps at backup center. In fact, he was listed there, and Stromberg early on.
Though.
Yeah. But Stromberg played the most snaps of any lineman. I don't know if that's good or bad. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a tryout to me.
I know. What it is exactly that. Let's get the most amount of film on him as we can, and let's see, because he's a guy we got to make a decision on. because he's coming off an
How
injury.
about that, Strom? A guy like him, Dotson, they're getting everything they can before they make that decision.
Yeah, and Luke was getting it last week, so I think they're trying to figure out if they wanted it. They're trying to find that second guy
either, too.
Exactly.
So, but he seems like the solid fit, Luke
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm of the mind that they're hiding Luke McCaffrey, but he's also a third round rookie who's playing behind guys who
I don't think that. There's only one Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I understand.
And he was and Jay Gruden's way better at hide and seek than Dan Quinn, I can assure you.
It was interesting. I was looking at Puka Nacua and remembering last summer how he had a really good camp for the Rams, and he was popping up on people's radar, but he wasn't like a big. Cooper Kupp got hurt, and there was a lot of targets to go around, and it's Matthew Stafford. Totally different situation than it is here. But I always looked at Puka Nacua as this big, strong, tough guy. And different jerseys in the NFL do different things. They have different fonts and whatever. But he was a big, tough-looking guy in that jersey. He's basically the same size as Luke McCaffrey. I don't think of Luke McCaffrey as the same size as Puka Nacua necessarily, and I was surprised to see that on.
I've never thought about the two of them and whether or not they were the same size. And and you just took us into a deep introspective into the brain of Ken Meringolo.
We do hang out in the basement on Tuesday nights and drink whiskey. I feel like this is the kind of stuff. But I love Puka Nacua. I'm not saying Luke McCaffrey is him, but it's the size. He doesn't jump. You look at him and you don't think big, strong guy, but he is. He's a big, strong guy, and he's crazy fast. I think we'll see. We got 10 days. Is it 10 days? How long is it between the cut day and opening day for us? Is it 10 days?
August 27th, I believe, is cut day.
And then September 8th?
That's 4 and 8, yeah. Although there's games Thursday the 5th. But for us,
that's true.
It's 12.
All right. So they'll have all that time to put in the Luke McCaffrey offense. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Linebacker / edge. That's the only other thing I had. I know there's other. It's not like we're rock solid everywhere, but those are my big ones. Obviously, Jamin Davis is the guy. I thought he played great.
I was so happy for him.
He did.
The moves he had, his speed. Again, I think he's the kind of guy, we've seen it before. When you put him on a mission to do one thing and not, get out in space and look around and if you put him on, he can be very effective. Now, I don't know if he can keep it up or if he can be consistent, but that was pretty damn good showing this past week.
I went all in and checked it out because that didn't come from nowhere. He's not playing linebacker. He got a couple snaps.
He's playing hand on the ground.
He's been with Ryan Kerrigan, they said, for the last 6 weeks.
Yep.
Just side by side, learning every freaking trick in the book. And a dude that can put that together and say, okay, in my final year on contract, I'll do that. I'm ready to do that. Sure.
Position you can make the most money at if you get good at it.
Somebody teach me how to do this shit. I wish Ron Rivera would have told me all this. Yeah, right. And he's talking about how he was thinking about doing that in the Dallas defense when he saw him when he was coming out into the draft 3 years ago. He said they went to some workout in Memphis somewhere, and he was like, well, this is a guy that could do this for this defense.
That's right.
So shit. Let's see what can happen. I think he made the team the other night, or at least quelled all the worries about him being the question mark that gets cut.
Right.
That's right.
That speed's legit, and that play was legit, and we could use that. We can certainly use that.
Agile. He's a different kind of athlete than because we have Armstrong is locked in on one side. And
Clelin Ferrell on the other,
and Ferrell locked on the other. So
KJ and JJB on the other side that way. You need a speed guy. Andre Jones and him.
Yeah, you're not getting. It's not just getting a guy's play or two to get a blow. You're actually getting. You talk about the moves that Kerrigan had. Jamin Davis is way more agile. I don't know how much more athletic. Kerrigan was a crazy good athlete, but Jamin Davis has moves that Kerrigan never had. I mean, Jamin Davis he's probably a good dancer, as we would say if we were calling the game. Are you saying he shakes his ass better than all-time sack leader Ryan Kerrigan? I think he does. He does.
So you're just comparing men from different places, relentlessly against each other physically.
That is what we do.
You have been pinning man versus man in your brain for a week now.
I wouldn't necessarily term it that way, but I understand what you're saying.
We're just adding fuel to the fire, Tate.
Yes,
We're just adding fuel to the fire.
Hey, I really like him. I think that again, you're talking about a first-round pick who can still provide value for the team. That's kind of where I come out on Jamin Davis also. Jahan Dotson, which is I think that as long as he's not doing the things we talked about before that are just game enders.
He's not doing any McManus type shit.
Yeah, he's not Najee Davenporting in the training room. Then he's going to be able to provide us. He's going to be able to return us the value that because we're not paying $10-15 million a year for a starting wide receiver, for a starting edge rusher / linebacker. These are guys who can give us what we need for what we're paying them, and it's all on them. If they want to continue to have a career in the league and get people to offer them big money, that's what this year's all about. That's huge for us.
Yeah, I get it, but you know what? I just keep thinking for the last 2 weeks because I don't know. We're not out there on practice, but maybe he's not big enough to be out wide. Maybe he's not explosive or strong enough in the run game to be inside. Maybe he's not maybe he just doesn't fit.
Maybe he's got a shitty
I don't
attitude.
think he fits.
Who knows?
I feel like he has a good attitude just because how he interviews, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there for 6 weeks. We haven't seen it, but something's up. Something's up.
To be a wide receiver and to get in your second or third year in the league, a Jaden Daniels to come in and you know right away that Terry McLaurin is taking the other team's better coverage attention, whatever the scheme they're playing. You're going to get tons of opportunities and tons of throws. So it kind of comes. So how can you not have How can you not have a good attitude about that? It has to be fit in the scheme. He's not doing something that they want him to do.
Well, I'll tell you, as a fan, it's making plays.
Yeah.
Guys, receivers are supposed to make plays.
His number one moniker is he's got big play capability.
Hands.
Big, like wow plays where you're just like, how the hell did he just do that?
Right.
We saw glimpses of that his first year. There was nothing last year. I don't know if that was the coaching staff, the quarterback, the fact that he was probably already sacked most of the time. Who knows?
There was a bunch of sack lunches.
He's not even flashing in what he's known best for, and maybe that's because of all the other little things. How Diami Brown this past offseason only paid huge attention to getting off the line of scrimmage. Has Dotson done that? I don't know.
I don't know either.
No one's talked about it. No one's explained it, and he's not getting open. If he's not getting, because he's not getting the ball thrown to him.
Mediocrity is almost worse. We don't know. We're not like, it's not like he's dropping shit and like late for practice. We would know.
Right? He's not even like, you forget about him. Actually,
my fear about Jahan Dotson, his calling card was his catching ability. They had the best hands in that draft. He was like the 7th or 8th or 9th receiver. But he made so many crazy catches, at Penn State and even like his rookie year. I'm starting to think if he has an accurate quarterback, then I don't know if that makes him any better. Like he was great at the 50-50 ball, but he wasn't necessarily open. Like he didn't run open a lot. When I look at him, like Terry McLaurin runs open.
Terry McLaurin just is open.
He just is. He's just always open. And Jahan Dotson does not seem like he's that open. And he was catching a lot of contested balls, and he was good at it. So I don't know. I think if he catches touchdowns, I don't care about his yards. I don't care about anything else. Because he did that his rookie year.
Is there another human body that you're going to compare him to, or are we
Jahan Dotson?
Yeah. There's not like Ichiro Suzuki in him. Have you ever noticed that him and Ichiro have the same stride?
Rod Gardner.
where would you pull that from?
Rod Gardner.
I didn't know where he was going to pull something else
Suzuki hasn't
from.
even played for a while, has he?
I know, but I always loved him.
Rod Gardner, late first
don't
round
know where
draft
that
pick,
came
Marty Schottenheimer, I believe. And he was known for his 50-50 ball. He was a 50-50 ball guy. He was a good possession receiver.
Possession. He was a slow.
Yes.
He was slow.
He wasn't open.
He looked like a linebacker, and he was slow.
I think
In
it's a bad
college,
thing.
He just mauled everybody.
He mauled everyone. He was like a running back at the outside. I don't know anymore if it's a good thing for people to be like, he's a great 50-50 ball catcher. Because to me, that means he's always freaking covered. He's never open. If all you're doing is catching 50-50 balls, and Rod Gardner, obviously he'd be in the Hall of Fame if he played anywhere else than here. But sure. But so that's the guy I would compare him to, because it's a mid to late first round wide receiver who we haven't cashed in on. But I don't think we cut Rod Gardner. I think we knew pretty early on he wasn't going to be he wasn't going to be in the Ring of Honor, for the Redskins.
Oh no, there's a couple rings him and his class draft mates were in. They weren't honorable.
We were pretty sure about that, from an early day. But I don't think any. I'd bet dollars to donuts he played after us. Like he played elsewhere in the league.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Jahan Dotson.
He played 1 year after in the league, Rod Gardner, I believe.
He played like
San
Carolina or something.
San Fran.
San Fran. Okay.
He went to San Fran. He caught a couple touchdowns.
I thought he went back to Carolina because to cash.
He
in
might have done that too.
The Clemson tie-in. Because he's a Clemson receiver, right?
He was.
So many.
I don't spend any time thinking about where Ron.
So many. I mean, just so much mediocre football has been watched by all.
So
you know these guys.
meaty.
So meaty. And what you guys want to fill in the blanks? Those are mine that I came in with in terms of this point at camp, where my mind's at. Obviously, it's Rod Gardner.
I think we're all pretty much there. I mean, we've covered just about every position there is.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Even
exciting.
kicker.
It's gonna be great to know. And then once that 53-man set, man, it's go time.
Practice squad is I love the dawn of the practice squad coverage. In the last 4 or 5 years, like there's even like the big guys like CBS and ESPN, whatever. They'll have somebody writing about like practice squad players, and it's cool. There's a lot of guys out there who are right on the cusp of making the league.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah. There's
That was San Fran. Sorry.
There's it's like the minor leagues, right? And to a certain extent, the prospects, and that
it's not a bad gig. You get paid good money for like 3 days of actual work.
I mean, but you could be here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah,
it is a tough one. But I was thinking like, is there any measure of progress, that we can watch for in the formation of our practice squads? Not just what positions we're keeping. I don't think there's too much there, but if we can improve the quality of our practice squad, everybody, all these other teams, they have, all of a sudden, they're putting a running back in, they're putting an offensive lineman in here and there, and they're doing just fine. We've actually had to do the same thing, and it hasn't worked out quite as well for us. So, I think Driscoll or Hartman will stay on our practice squad just because I don't think our practice squad, I think there's other organizations have way deeper, benches. They've done better. We haven't drafted well. We haven't signed well.
All the organizations have been run better than ours.
Correct.
For a long time.
The guy in charge of our practice squad is not named Bruce or Ron or Vinny.
Yes. It's a weird thing to think
Ron,
about.
Vinny, what are you idiots doing? Oh, just picking a team here for the fucking Redskins.
And we all
welcome to our bash the old regime segment.
I was part of the problem, really, because we did our whole Mason Brennan Award for years at Hogs Haven, and we get infatuated with these players, and we just hope we can keep them on our practice squad. But that alone, that in itself, that's not a healthy football attitude. Like, you're not making your if we just hope our favorite guys who did well in August in the fourth preseason game can make the practice squad, that's where we've been.
Good practice squads are from great teams, not from winning the offseason.
Yes,
it's not like we were great in the offseason. Have you seen our practice squad?
Our practice squad.
Have you son of a bitches seen this practice squad?
We got a guy from Georgetown Prep, yo.
What's Kansas City's practice
local?
Squad?
Kansas City's practice squad. I'm sure they can roll. I'm sure they're ready to roll out an offensive lineman, a wide receiver, and
don't we usually take a receiver from them as often as we can?
Yes. Anything.
Usually it's Pringle. He goes back and forth.
Now we have about 15 minutes left of planned content. If Greg wants to line up a question for us, he had a question for us, and we can go ahead and tackle it to close things out.
I hope you have 15 minutes of playing stuff.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Rod Gardner, we haven't even scratched the surface. I mean, I can give you a Rod Gardner's Pee-wee
Malcolm
stats.
Kelly and Rod Gardner both had some entertainment chops, I believe. Wasn't Rod Gardner a dancer?
Wasn't it Devin Thomas? The guy was drafted the same year because Devin Thomas wanted to be a rapper also. Did Malcolm Kelly do some?
Malcolm Kelly freestyled after the Orange Bowl, or after Malcolm Kelly freestyled after the Big 12 championship before they played in the championship in the locker room. Maybe that's what I'm getting it from.
Rod Gardner played Carolina, Green Bay, and Kansas City.
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs.
15 total receptions after he left Washington.
I said he had one TD. They show it all the time. I thought it was a San Fran uni. I think it had to have been as a Kansas City Chief.
Sure. That's okay. So that's 15 total catches. But for 3 teams, that means he signed at least three contracts, and he got something. I hope he did well. I hope he's doing great.
You hope he got a little something.
I hope he got a little something. Cut draft. All right, what's the cut draft, Greg? I don't know what you're talking about. Just give us a
the guys that are going to get cut.
yeah. We'll throw it up there.
People who are not going to play.
No. I think he has. We're going to be cutting people in category. I'm sure you'll give us a category or something to cut. We'll make some decisions together. Fred Davis is the. Here we go. Let's see. Fred Davis is the greatest legal mind of the last 30 years. Now, why is that?
Because every great lawyer has a pimp chalice.
Yeah, every great lawyer has a pimp chalice.
Is it a goblet? Was it a pimp goblet?
No.
It was a pimp
Is that what
chalice.
he said?
That's what he had, I believe.
It has to be a chalice. If it's
in
a
the
pimp,
court
it's
of
chalice.
law, she was like, he would only drink his liquor in his pimp cup, and he left it, and that's why she got a speeding ticket going back home to get it, because Fred couldn't do his drinking without it.
That's not my Batman cup. just I'm gonna need something else. All right, so it's a cut draft. All right, here we go. This is what he said.
I get it. We're creating our collective best by cutting.
Okay.
One of the 4 options.
Okay.
Down
Ooh,
to.
wow.
So we each get a cut,
Knights of Columbus.
and we're leaving what we all think is the best option,
Sorry.
theoretically.
Okay. All right. So
Is that right, Greg?
I think
I had that right.
So the final, the one remaining is our answer.
Is the choice that we've made as a
All right,
collective
I like
group.
it. I like it.
Okay. So we're gonna take turns. So yeah.
Can you determine the order?
All right. Kevin's gonna be number 1. I'm gonna be number 2. T is gonna be number 3.
So we got the order, left to right.
Left to right on your radio dial.
All right. So first round, we got sporting event, Winter Olympics, World Cup, Little League World Series, and the Kentucky Derby.
So we're gonna take turns cutting one, and whichever's left is our group choice, right? So you cut one first.
I'm just going to get after it right away. I'm going, this is brutal. You know what? I'm going to let one of you guys have to make this terrible call. I'm cutting the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, that's the easy one, dude.
That's the first one to
I'm
cut.
going to make T be the
I agree.
asshole. Because
That's all right.
I'm cutting the Winter Olympics. The Winter Olympics.
That is national. You just hawked to it on the freaking snow.
I did. This is our sporting event. So wait.
All right.
Oh.
So I'm cutting.
The thing is, I keep pissing AGH off with my answers, and I'm not going to do it to you tonight, buddy. I'm not. I'm with you, even though I'm not a soccer guy. Even though I'm not a soccer guy, I feel bad that I'm going to cut kids. But let's get rid of Little World Series.
I was going to take that off your plate in the first round.
Okay. Whew. I was concerned there for a moment.
You should have been.
Not for you.
I thought about it for a second, and then I thought AGH is
Never.
going to get so mad if I do. So
wait, can I just ask a question?
We'll keep the other than what NASCAR. It's in soccer, the most watched sport in the world.
Then I think Formula One.
In
the world, right?
Right,
Formula One's huge. Yeah,
that's fine. It was racing. I know that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it has to be. You watch the World Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
You watch the World Cup. When the World Cup is played, do you watch it at all?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, category 2, hot chick. Here we go. Now I get to pick first. I am cutting. Okay, so we have to pick between. So right now we're doing we get the World Cup, which is our sporting event is the World Cup. That's huge. Boog, wait, take it easy, AGH. I'm with you. I don't understand.
Let me just say the Little League. As a kid, Little League was the greatest. As a parent, I want to open hand smack 2/3 of the people in wherever the hell they're at. The kids are the best, but Little League parents, come on. So
youth sports is out of control. It's out of control, I tell you. God, I sound old, but it's true. Not like the way it was when we were kids.
Yeah, now you got to bring your pimp chalice to all these games.
Well, that is a fact. All right, so I'm sorry. We're cutting either Sydney Sweeney, Salma Hayek, Jennifer Lawrence, or ScarJo. Now, this is unfair because I feel like he's been probing us for our answers over the last 6 months.
I do not like the word probing at all.
Lots of probing.
Not in this context. Look, as soon as you said probing, oh my God, I can't even tell you what this ad is.
Okay, so I have to do.
Do what you got to do.
I'm gonna have to do. You know what? I'm just gonna cut. Dang it! I'm trying to figure out the way.
First cut.
There is, but I'm trying to figure out the way because it goes you, then Kevin picks third. I'm trying to figure out the path to the person I want to be the last
Just
person
make
standing.
the cut. This isn't.
All right, so I'm cutting Salma Hayek.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say in my entire life.
Here we go.
It's his choice.
I know. It's such a terrible. It's
This
the
is,
worst.
this is really what this
I'm
game
kicking,
is.
Maybe
I'm kicking Katniss out of there. Get Jennifer Lawrence out of there.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Bye.
Come on.
All
How
right,
was
so
she
now
even
you're
in that
picking between-
conversation?
Bye.
And now you wait and see what happens when I get a chance to screw you.
You do right now.
I mean, but like
Because
now,
it
now
comes
it's
down
not.
to the one
now it's
I
like-
really wanted, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm cutting Sydney Sweeney just to make
No!
ScarJo.
Okay. But see,
Yeah,
but that's the
yeah,
way I think this game is supposed to be played.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out how to bring it back,
I
and
like
I
Scarlett
lost.
Johansson more than I like Sydney Sweeney.
Okay,
You
For
should.
more years.
You should.
Mm-hmm. I made a gamble there and did not pay off. It's like when you don't give someone like a
That's just
3.5
so
foot
bad.
putt, and then like and
You
they,
kind of just ruined my Tuesday.
they're like, "Wait, you're not giving that to me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then they don't give you a 1 footer and you miss it. It happens to the best of us. All right, we got. Winter Olympics is great, AJH. I understand, and there's so much good activity.
Yeah, Ken, you suck at this game.
So you know what? AGH would also be a great candidate for Penguins sledding. He would be.
Oh yeah.
You should get into more sledding.
The sledder or the
buddy.
catcher? The sledder.
The sledder.
Kevin and I are more catchers
Yes. Yeah. You are.
than sledding. Take it easy over there. It's a family show.
Now, after what you just did, I'm just a little upset.
Gosh, I feel like Vinny Serrato. Just did not pay off. My pick did not work out at all. What's category 3, dude?
Scarlett Johansson was left, sir.
Yeah, ScarJo. All right, so we have
Ken fired Selma, T fired Jen, I fired Sydney. Scarlett, she's working for the squad.
I'm glad Ken Harris isn't actively on the board tonight. He would be very mad at me as well.
He would be.
I mean, this is like how is Jennifer Lawrence and Selma Hayek in the same sentence?
Understood.
It's bonkers.
I'll give Sam all of
All
her
I can say, he's
credit.
throwing wide net. That's all I can say.
All right, here you go. Category 3 are fast food burgers. I don't know why he. Are you?
Which I have given up temporarily.
He must be doing speak
Maybe
typing.
forever.
McDonald's, Big Mac, Burger King Whopper, Wendy's, Dave's Double, and a Smash Burger T. You get to cut first.
Wendy's. Is that one thing?
Dave's
Yeah,
double.
Wendy's, Dave's Double.
Got it.
Greg,
Yep.
are you having a heart attack? Like, can you throw some slashes in there, bro?
I'm only cutting this number one because it's not what we knew. It's not the original.
They changed the pickles.
It's changed. Everything's changed. It's
They went
not a
sweet.
good
They
sandwich.
went bread and butter.
It falls
from
apart.
Dill.
It's dry. It's
dry.
It sucks.
It's so dry.
And it was the staple of
Yeah, it was good.
fast food burgers at a time. But the Big Mac's gone.
I'm gonna go ahead and slash the smash burger, the salty burger. I call
It is
them.
a salty
it's
burger.
the saltiest. I love the flavor of meat. I love great seasoned meat, but I hate when
Yes,
just
he
I get
does.
a salt bash, a salt to the face, smashy. You are salted away,
It's
sir.
a salty beef slap to the face. I love it. I love that you love it. Mostly.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's
I
a
love
great
it.
thing. So wait, McDonald's is gone. Smash Burger's gone.
No, Wendy's is gone and Smash Burger's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Wendy's Big
Mac.
you cut the Big Mac, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he cut the Big Mac.
I thought you cut the Wendy's.
No, the
oh,
Big
you
Mac.
said Wendy's Dave's double.
No, I said I didn't know what it was.
He started telling
I
us.
was trying to figure out
yeah.
what that was.
Yeah, the Big Mac is so
The Big
gross
Mac
right
sucks.
now. It's a little Mac. It's just a Mac.
I was at McDonald's today to pick up a couple of things, just to run some errands. I got the spicy McChicken sandwich and the deluxe.
Crispy deluxe chicken sandwich.
Yeah, the deluxe.
Yeah, sorry,
crispy.
trash can.
Yeah.
You're gonna have such diarrhea tomorrow.
Wow.
Whiskey and the crispy chicken.
That was
with
happening
another
anyway.
I was
sandwich.
about to say that's impressive that you guessed that.
And some beef ribs from Costco.
No, I remember
Dumpster
thinking
diver.
like, "Ooh, glad that's not in my trash can for tomorrow."
But better than the Big Mac, which was the alternative.
Big Mac is gross now.
Yeah, it
but
is. It
gross.
is. All right, so I got to cut
gross.
something and we're going to leave.
It was fantastic in the 80s.
I agree.
So technically, I'm not cutting anything. I'm picking the winner. It's either the Burger King Whopper or Wendy's Dave's Double. Now, I love the story of Wendy's. I love what's his name? Dave
Thomas.
Dave Thomas. Do you know which fast food mega chain he was incredibly involved in starting?
Yes, I just saw this.
You should know it. I think you saw it. Come on.
In-N-Out Burger?
Nope. I mean, it's
I just saw this
it's
on
a giant.
reel.
You saw it on you saw the show on TV?
No, I saw a reel about it.
Okay, because the food that built America is on the History
He
Channel.
broke off and started Wendy's.
Correct.
What was it? It was.
And he's responsible. So the store that I'm talking
was
about.
it Taco Bell?
Nope. But it's equally as big, if not bigger. And he was the guy behind everything that made it great.
Geno's?
Right.
No.
Damn it.
Think about I've been around forever.
Arby's.
It's KFC.
It was KFC.
So Colonel Sanders and Dave Thomas
He came up with
So he came up with a bucket.
Yep.
Dave Thomas came up with a bucket of chicken. He came up with the red and white thing, striped logo of it. He came up with the idea of this guy, Colonel Sanders. He should actually be our spokesman. Let's just put him out front. He's the guy. Like Dave Thomas was a genius, and he was like, and he had the sides. He was like, we're gonna do sides do the bucket for families to have dinner. And Colonel Sanders kind of totally stuck it to him, and Dave was just out. Yes,
he gave him the bird.
He gave him the bird. So Dave Thomas is out, and Dave Thomas is like, well, screw this guy. And it was a tough way to start. He went bought a couple locations, and he made square hamburgers. If you know the answer to this, let's see, Kevin. Why are Wendy's burgers square?
Because there's no cutting corners.
That's Lido's.
Damn it!
Because you could fit more
packaging. Yeah.
You fit more burgers on the grill.
Yeah.
On the grill. So never frozen square burgers, and he just started turning out burgers. And
Unfortunately, it was dog meat for about 15 years.
Well,
which I'm sure was also a Dave Thomas idea. You know what cost way less? It did. And it did because the condiments were always better. The lettuce, the tomato, but that's where he got you. The meat.
He was all.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
I'm sure he invented where's the beef.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we now know where the beef is.
We know where it is. So Dave Thomas, you get to stay.
What?
Burger King Whopper. Hit the bricks.
Dude, you just ruined the best fast food sandwich and picked stupid Dave's dumbass KFC dog meat burger.
I had to go with my heart there, and
that was a lot of lead up for another terrible answer.
I know. I'm really.
Oh God, I'm so pissed.
You know what? This might be the first time we've had to use both green rooms outside.
Bro,
one for me and T, and one for you by yourself.
You just honestly, you cut like three of my favorite things.
All right, category 4. Oh, I just love Dave Thomas so much. Wait, another hot chick? Oh, hot chick music edition. All right, Kevin, you're picking first, or you're cutting first again. We're cutting either Katy Perry, Beyonce, Jessica Simpson, or Taylor Swift.
All right, well, listen, it's a music edition.
It's a music edition.
Jessica Simpson's a cutie pie, but she doesn't deserve to be in the music edition.
You're out, Jess.
Sorry.
It's chicken of the sea. It's tuna.
Sorry.
It's not chicken.
Musically, the other 3 are just maul you. Well, 2 of them maul you. We'll see what
All right,
happens.
so I would love to make T.
I have to choose the final one.
Our music expert. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the honor of choosing between Beyonce and Taylor Swift.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Ken.
No offense, Katy
Perry. The
Perry.
best thing you've done all night.
I can't go wrong.
No, you can't.
And I'm gonna pick the biggest at the moment, and that is Taylor Swift.
So you're keeping her?
No, I'm keeping her
and cutting Beyonce. How dare you?
I can't believe you just cut
Green Bay and the
I
Beehive.
also don't think I could look my daughters in the eye and say that I cut
Taylor Swift. Yeah, I know. Plus, on the outside chance she ever sees
that's
this,
like a week's worth of not being spoken to. Or
you're set.
The 3 of us just picked the Wendy's double cheeseburger as the best fast food sandwich. It's not in my top 100.
While watching a World Cup game.
At least we have Taylor Swift and Scarlett Johansson.
It's true. We're coming back. I don't know how many categories. Oh, there's 2 more categories. All right, throw category 5 up there, Greg. I'm kind of excited. So the U.S. men's national team did just name a new coach, which we're not necessarily covering on this show tonight. But the World Cup is kind of coming to focus here.
I love everyone else's World Cup.
It's here, right? 26.
Ken, you're first.
Takeout food. Chinese, Italian, Mexican, and Japanese. Okay, so I'm first. So once again, I think you just go rampage style and knock something out. Let's get Chinese out of there. What's wrong
wrong with you?
I want us to think. I want to put our thinking caps on.
Am I next?
Oh yeah.
Well, then I'm taking Japanese out of there.
All right. So now Kevin gets picked between Italian and Mexican. And by the way, that's where I wanted us to be.
It's very simple. I am taking Italian carryout because Mexican carryout never works. You have to eat the Mexican there, man.
You always have to eat Mexican in person.
Great point.
Yes.
Chinese and Japanese
And I
are
love
legit.
Mexican food. I love Mexican food. But yeah, we're going Italian up in this bad boy.
So,
because I
and
do
then
love it
takeout.
the most.
So take out because
The most.
there's two things about, especially if you have a decent spot, right? That puts out some good pasta. I mean, Mama Lucia they're probably a
It's
decent.
maybe my two favorite foods, Italian and Mexican.
Yeah. But the thing about the Italian food is that it reheats so much better.
Oh my God.
It's actually better the second day.
I know.
Anything whatsoever. I preheat the oven at 350. I have a big stack of these foil pans. Just lump it all in there. Whatever it is, every single leftover that I got.
Are you teaching us how to reheat food right now?
Yes, and I put it in
If there's something.
for
Do you press a button?
20 minutes.
It's amazing.
And then check it, everybody. Then you want to check it, but then you want to freak it out. Stir it up a little bit. I'm buying some
right.
time. Okay, category 6. Players on the roster. We're cutting one of these players, each of us. Jahan Dotson, Emmanuel Forbes, Andrew Wiley, Jamin Davis. T, you're first. Oh, you're gonna have a tough one.
This is
AGH, I love Mexican food. I love it as much as I love Italian. But carry out, when you get it home, if it takes however long,
Nope.
it just doesn't work, brother.
no.
I'm gonna rip off the Band-Aid. Say Wiley.
Yeah, get that one out of there for sure. But the thing also about the Mexican, even like a quick car ride home, like because the question was takeout, delivery, no chance. I have no idea how long that's been to getting. But even if I go to the place, grab it, and then bring it home, first of all, any crunchy taco is not crunchy anymore. So you have to go soft tacos exclusively. Fajitas and those kinds of things, they like start to congeal up a little bit. They're not getting to your house hot and ready to rock. So you're gonna have to heat it up anyways.
Like nachos is a staple every time.
And
you can't possibly. You have to put in all the
transport
different stuff. Then you have to make them yourself.
Nope.
Like, come on.
Chips get all soggy.
If I was like the Mexican government, I would put out like a thing and be like, "Hey, listen, we do a lot of things great, but we like don't deliver this food."
I'm cutting Jahan Dotson. I'm just saying it. I just cut Jahan Dotson.
He did it. Kev
All right,
did it.
all right. Fajitas are great to go. They can be. Listen,
You cutting Forbes or Davis? Jamin Davis.
they legalized some things over the last couple of years. Really enhances the fajitas to go. Am I cutting Forbes or Davis? So I'll stick to my word. Last week I said if this new coaching staff could revive and provide the value that we want out of a first-round player, I'd much rather it be Emmanuel Forbes. Got to have cornerbacks. I'm taking Emmanuel Forbes and letting Jamin Davis go.
Jamin Davis was a first-round draft choice also.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Corner over linebacker.
corner over. I'm saying if you could,
But now edge rusher.
but now it's rusher.
But developmental project edge rusher.
It's really of the three of Dotson, Forbes, and Davis. If all first round picks under Rivera, if I could have one of those guys be resurrected and into a legit starter in the league every single week, I'd much prefer it to be Forbes over the other two because of the value it would be to our roster. All right, category bonus round. We got a bonus round. We always got a bonus round. J Dubs and Robbie H is in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about Jamin Davis this year. I mean, that's the exact person at the exact spot that you could do the most damage in this league. And he might. There's not a single agent out there who's not trying to get him as their client like right away. He's gonna get paid by somebody, not by us. He's gonna get a contract in this league. He's not going to bounce out of the NFL if we don't keep him. We're no longer the drag of the league, and we have been at time. But our guys do fall off the cart and land on, in Carolina and Carolina.
Apparently, we have to show our references.
Oh God,
I'm not sure if that's code word for something, but I haven't had enough to drink yet. If that's what I think you think it is.
Show. Oh, a show reference. So this is going to be there's going to be references from shows.
I read it too fast.
Show. You're gonna have to show references. I wouldn't need to see all your work tonight, Kev. So Greg did take the time to write all these out, so we're getting copying and pasting. That's what's happening right now. While we're waiting for Category 7 for the bonus round to come out, I will say this: August 31st on our air, and we'll get you guys the information. We really appreciate you guys. Any support you have, you're willing to lend. Our high school football season starts in a week and a half. We're crazy excited. It's the most fun we have, and it's really one of the things that was like one of the coolest offshoots of us doing this on Tuesday nights is what turned into us doing this at the 50-yard line of awesome high school football stadium. So St. John's, Roman Catholic, a nice little East Coast matchup between two awesome programs and a lot of really great high school football players getting their junior season started.
Top ranked team in Washington D.C., number 5 ranked team in Philadelphia. First Amendment Sports and the Knights of Columbus sponsoring a food drive. We will have what is it? Those fancy things called that you can scan code.
QR code.
We will have a QR code. I understand
for our
donations.
Perfect. Yeah,
for the charitable foundation.
We can do that if we get it. We can
for
put
the
it on
United States Order of Servicemen and Sailors. That's who we were. Yes, and yes.
We'll put it on our show.
Yes,
next Tuesday.
We'll talk about that in the green room tonight, where we always take care of the most businesses.
That's correct. Well, we have 2 green rooms. I'm starting to think we might not be in the same one.
I will be in the one that has pictures of Selma Hayek that's serving Whoppers relentlessly, and you can be
going with the juicy double room. Yeah. Obviously,
it ain't juicy, bro. It ain't juicy no more.
I'm in the juicy double.
Dave, you can have Dave's juicy beef. He's about 90 now.
Okay, so
that sounded terrible.
Or slash great. Okay, so here's AGH. Are you going to bring back the WCAC show? The short answer is yes. It's just a matter of
we should.
So what we're working on is getting it started, sustainably, right? So I think on Tuesday nights going forward, the 3 of us, if he's amenable, I don't know if he's amenable, but chat about the week that was in the WCAC for football. We got 10 awesome teams. Right now, they're playing a lot of teams from everywhere else and all over the area. Gives us a chance to shine a spotlight on some of that. 5, 6, 7 minutes of some high school football talk, and we'll share that out with folks. WCAC spectacular.
And I can say this: there are 25 football players from the league we covered. There's 2 sections to the league. The upper league, 25 guys on NFL rosters before cut day. That's badass. Mm-hmm. Badass. I love that. I love that thought. We got a lot of over 100 college football players. Honestly, turn on TV on Saturday, and there's usually a WCAC guy playing with or against another WCAC guy, with a couple more on the sideline. So it is pretty spectacular. And thank you guys always for everything you do. And AGH, yes, I believe you can when I figure out what a QR code is.
Yeah, we've done that for Pat Behan.
I know.
Are you serious?
I'm just kidding. just let me do my shtick.
Come on.
Well, it's hard when I'm doing I got to get 3 logos and a QR code on the same flyer, and I haven't done that before. That's a cut and paste nightmare as well, Greg Martin.
Wait, so Greg, we still haven't gotten the bonus round from you. I know he's having a problem with the show reference, the cut and paste. He's probably typing it all out again. If I know Greg, he'll invite us straight up for tea and strumpets. And the answer to that is AGH, yes.
What is the rundown of the ones we didn't pick? Did you write them down?
I did. So far,
our sporting event,
the World Cup. We'll be sitting in a box with Scarlett Johansson, munching on Dave's juicy meats, double cheese,
juicy double,
listening to Taylor Swift. Obviously, we ordered some Italian because the Dave's juicy meats didn't go over all that well. And we'll be also sitting with Emmanuel Forbes, apparently.
We're sitting with Emmanuel Forbes. I love that the the juicy double as an appetizer to a very that's an old school Italian. The multiple
I
courses.
just imagine like a table with just a mound of them.
Yeah, nice. a mountain of juicy doubles.
A mountain of burgers is a great sight.
I know, but let's not try and bring the old school to the new. There's no feast of the 7 disgusting meats. The feast of the processed meats.
If you had to eat 10 of what I'm about to ask you, 10. If you had, which one would it be? Would you rather eat 10 McDonald's cheeseburgers or 10 Wendy's Junior Bacon cheeseburgers?
Oh, it's not even close.
What's it going to be?
The Wendy's bacon. But if it was the McDonald's double cheeseburger, it'd be 10 McDonald's double cheeseburgers. But we'll have to figure that out at the feast of the 7.
The feast of the 70 burgers.
The 7 processed meats.
The feast of the 7 processed meats.
Okay. Our show. Oh, Greg, this is cool. All right. So show references from our show. So we have to cut these down. So a Muff reference, still live. The Martha Stewart picture, and wash your ass.
Oh, man.
T, you go first.
You know what? It is good that Ken is not on the board tonight because I'm going to have to cut Team Mom. Martha Stewart's going first.
The whole team just crumbled.
Martha Stewart's
we now have a losing record.
We're not eating oranges.
You just cut the greatest team out.
We're not having Capri Suns after the game.
No, as
Icy
a reference,
Pops, flavor
not
ice.
The person as a
Maybe
reference.
Fat Frogs from the
as
free
a show
show.
reference. This is as a show reference, not as a person.
Understood.
This is as a show.
Okay.
Reference. We can't mention Martha Stewart anymore.
Why not?
I've cut her.
Oh, God.
All right, can we say goodbye?
I've cut her mentions. We don't
Here,
have to actually do it. This is a hypothetical game.
No. We have to say goodbye. There she is. Here, let's.
You know
Oh,
what's
God.
the last one?
I'm
Right
next,
there.
so I'm putting Ken. I'm going to put Ken, and then wow, he's going to like this position, right in between an ass and a muff, because I am. Listen, as much as I love Still Live, I just want to hear Ken's answer so bad. So, oh boy,
What is he going to cut? A muff or a butt?
Yeah, you're. What do we got?
He doesn't strike me as a cutter. I feel like Ken's going on natural on this final answer.
Wash your Martha's muff. Thanks, Jason.
Still alive. Sorry.
No, you need. I love that you're thinking about this. It's important.
So it's gonna get. Either way, it's about to get stanky down here.
So what are you cutting?
Come on, Ken.
Wait. I'm sorry.
You have to cut either wash your ass or
So
muff.
here's the
I was waiting
final
for you.
answer.
I thought you were.
I cut Still Live.
You cut Still Live. Okay, I did not.
That's why T and I
did
were.
not know that.
I know, Andrew. I know, but this was done for a purpose. This was let
All right.
let the show reveal the answer, Ken.
So okay, so real fast. I may
He's
have been
filibustering.
I may have been overserved one night, and I said watch your ass, but that's not what came out of my mouth. What came out of my mouth was wash your ass, and I tried to talk right through it, and even in after a couple of drinks, and I'm gonna try to talk right through this, and this guy looked at me, and I knew I wasn't talking right through anything. And all of a sudden, it was wash your ass, wash your ass, wash your ass.
It's a hash wash party.
Yes. Muff was another organically one from, just from, because we had a crazy amount of muffs. And it turned out to be an amazing word to work into everything we do. Yeah, so I'm going to say, because I'm keeping Muff. And I'm gonna put
Somebody clip that, please.
wash your ass right into the Ring of Honor, right to the Ring of Honor. But
It's right where it belongs. You got to wash that Ring of Honor every now and then, don't you?
just for the record, Still Live wasn't a thing. We weren't doing a thing. I was literally telling these guys, we're still alive.
Yeah, don't say anything that's going to get us canceled.
Don't start talking about what we talk about after the microphones turn off. It was a warning. It was like a government
we flirted
horn.
with that for a while.
I was like, oh yes. For the first 2 years, how many times did you guys turn to me and be like, wait, were we still live? Until I finally be like, we're still live. Shut the F up. We're still live. Don't say anything. But then it became better. So if I would keep still live over Muff, but my choice wasn't that. So we're keeping Muff.
You've been harvesting that muff.
I have.
Like
and
farm raised muff.
Practice squad, sweatiest basement in Kensington, he's never getting out of the practice squad.
Should be a movie title. I'm keeping Muff.
I'm keeping Muff.
Greg
I
Martin
believe
said,
in Muff.
you made a muff decision, but the right one, which I appreciate.
We
You
appreciate.
sure they didn't muff that cut?
No, I don't think I did. By the way,
Your muff's running wild on this.
4,417 people watching right now, and they love every second of what we're doing.
I know a lot of people that like to listen to this on their way to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I
hope there was traffic. I hope there was traffic, guys, because getting to the end. Because right after you hear three guys, drinking whiskey in a basement, you're gonna have to go to
don't get nervous.
a meeting, talk to some. Let me get Martha off there. Let's get T back in.
Get Martha off there, but honestly, at some point, you're gonna have to cut them off.
It's true, but I'm not. But the thing
I don't know if we could ever let go.
Well,
hip to hip. It's about to get cold outside. It's
board
about 70 today.
The board doesn't. The board would never let it go. These are ones. They're here to stay. It's like muff is like it's like a weed.
Oh no. I meant your muff. You doing the cutting. No. When we discuss muff around here, it's the best. Mm-hmm. In fact, over 2 seasons, there was 3 muff that were the highlight of 3 separate Tuesdays. Like if someone muffs it,
yeah,
everyone knows.
Everybody got
the best
so
part is
excited.
All of us in 20 different cities, or else the
it was
Continental.
automatic 2 days.
We
of
all
excitement.
know. We know.
Yeah,
we love it. We love
it
the
happens.
muffs.
You're watching. You're like, oh my gosh, it happened again.
Exactly.
It happened again. We're gonna talk about
What's better than 1 muff? 2 muffs.
Another muff. More muff. This is the sign of a man who's had all the muff he can. All right.
A muff.
For you, Greg. That was a nice little Simpsons reference for you.
Game day cut.
All right.
Draft.
So he says game day cut draft next week. All right.
Sweet.
Well, listen.
We got
I think cut drafts might be the way to go. I'm in a full sweat. I laughed my ass off.
To it.
And I'm a little pissed at Ken from earlier.
Yes. And I could have gone different. We will be back in 7 days. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Again, if we don't encourage, we're done with making people subscribe to our channel and smashing this and doing that. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you want to know when we're going live for some of these high school football games and other events that we do, the other things, you go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you'll get an alert and let you know when we're going live. Watch it anytime you want. We have a blast.
We host award nights.
We host award nights.
We do that.
We do all these things.
Remote shows.
Yes.
Birthday parties.
Bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, Muffsgiving, obviously. Listen, we do it all. We're a triple threat in a variety of ways. Right? I mean, Froze. I have one word for you, Froze. Let's just let that sink in there for a second, and you get a little bit of a sense of what we're all about. We'll continue to push the envelope here in terms of how deep you're going to delve into Kevin Ricca's mind on any given Tuesday evening, or Tim Strachan's stories, all of his stories.
I just don't want to delve into your mind because it's a dirty, weird.
It's in and out. You know what I mean? Like it's like what we were talking about earlier when you're like, it's like the Alamo. It's good to see, check it out, and then be like, you know what? I've been there. I don't need to go back anymore ever again.
Remember the Alamo?
Remember it?
Yeah, I do.
Just the way I like it, remembering it. I don't need to relive it. I just want to remember it. So that's kind of like my mind. See you guys in 7 days. He's Kevin Ricca.
Remember the Alamo.
He's Tim Strachan.
Can't wait to see you again next week. And then the week after that, or the week after that, we have real football.
Mufftoberfest. That's actually probably thing now going forward. Patent pending. Greg,
Closer.
we'll share it all. We'll share all the many cents that we can provide to
What, are you gonna grow that thing out? That thing's been working for 48 years, you son of a bitch.
Speaking for making money for our listeners and viewers, we're going to end the show as we always do with E.O. Anderson. Well, how did I get here?
Take us out, DP.
The algorithms are going to be so unfair to me. So unfair. We'll see you guys in 7 days. We are still live.
You're damn right you're going to keep the muff, dude.
I knew he wasn't going to cut it.
I know.
I'll never cut that
You
thing.
don't cut it. You got to let it grow in. And the kind of thing is that
You're no muff cutter.
It's kind of a part of your identity.
our identity.
But you wear it well, sir.
I do. And it's the best pronoun ever, by the way. Ever.
Mo.